Well, we made it to North Carolina and found a bunch more cotton fields. Pretty interesting, and then big cotton bales. We went to Hidnight and stayed at the Hidnight Family Campground. Real nice place. It was right on a creek, which we really enjoyed. It's a beautiful stream kind of cutting through the mountains there. And of course, while we're there, Sharon's going to look for rocks. We actually found a pretty neat piece. It was a great big piece of quartz. That's the sun shining through it there. And we took it inside, and that's the light shining up through it. So, of course, we still have that. The reason we went to Hidnight was to go to the Emerald Hollow Mine, where we'll dig dirt, throw it in buckets. Of course, I have Sharon there cheering me on. She also found this guy, John. Pretty interesting guy. He's been digging there for 3 years. You see the size of that hole, and that's not even just a part of it. But he was a pretty cool guy, had a lot of information, gave us some neat stones. Anywho, once we get some dirt, Sharon takes it up to the plume, sifts through it, and finds some treasures. Not real big stuff, no emeralds, but it was still a pretty good time. We checked out the stream, and it was a good day. Anyhow, after that, we load up again and get back on the road, and we're going to head to Johnson City. It was a really nice drive. It's going to take us into Tennessee. It's a real winding and narrow road, pretty interesting. We make it to Tennessee. What I like about Tennessee, of course, rocky-sided roads. I like those. It's nice scenery, but we go to this Mexican restaurant to meet Cindy. Pretty nice Mexican restaurant. Of course, I don't get a picture of Cindy, but I've known her for 20-something years. But we visited for a day, had a real good time. Pretty neat place. We did stop at a Walmart on the way out of town. Saw that there's some pretty interesting people that park at Walmart, not just shop there. When we pull into the parking lot, we hear a bunch of grinding from back at the rig. So I go back, and there's a tire kind of smoking. So I take it apart and pull the hub off, and this is what I find. Brakes just disintegrated. Fortunately, the bearings were good, and I was able to just throw the hub back on without the brakes, and we got back on the road. The day started off kind of cloudy. It's kind of pretty seeing the clouds in the mountains like that. That's why I call them the Smokies. But anyhow, we kept going, driving into some clear skies and eventually some blue skies. So it was a real nice drive, real pretty country, as you can see. And we're headed to the Rose Creek Campground. The picture doesn't really do it justice, but that's really a steep turn off of that road, and it was a nightmare. But anyhow, while we're there, they also have the Rose Creek Mine. We'll do some digging there, and had a pretty good time. Didn't find much there. The next mine we go to is the Mason Mountain Mine, and that was a really good time. They had quite a bit of stuff there. We spent the better part of the day there and found rubies, which is pretty interesting. We also found rhodolite, and the rhodolite of this quality is only found in that part of the state, so it was kind of unique. We also found garnets, some pretty stones, this, that, and the other that I don't even remember the names of. We did also find an emerald, which was pretty cool, and probably worth millions. And then once we're done, Sharon admires and organizes her treasures. But anyhow, while we're there, it's Franklin. It's a real pretty area, great part of North Carolina. I also like North Carolina people because they're not dicks. But this bike ride along the river, the Little Tennessee River, had a nice bicycle route that we loaded up and hauled the dogs around on. Pretty good time. And then we loaded up, got back on the road. We're headed to Calhoun, Georgia. Real nice drive there. I really didn't know that Georgia had that many pretty mountains in it, but it's a real pretty part of Georgia. We're going to stay in Calhoun at a hillbilly campground that used to be a KOA. Probably the best thing about it has a peacock and some unusual neighbors. Don't get any pictures of Tommy, but we spent a couple days visiting Tommy and his family. Real good time. And then back on the road, we finally found our first traffic jam. Some nice roadways outside the military base there in Georgia. And also some more just big open stretches of Georgia. I was pretty surprised by Georgia. It was a nice state. Anyhow, saw some nice people getting ready for Halloween. Took in a nice sunset. Found us a little camping spot up in the corner of a campground. Worked out real nice. Some more cotton. Cotton's real big down there. And finally made it to Florida, believe it or not. Only took us, I think it was 2,065 miles. Truck did pretty good, averaging 9.6 miles per gallon, which I thought was pretty good considering the hills that we came in. But anyhow, next video will be about Florida. I think we're going to be down here probably a couple of months.